Manga family, how you guys doing today? Man, this chapter is crazy. We learn a lot. We learn about a new thing called lifelong contracts. We've seen the previous owners of Ashanta Blade in the last war. We also learn of apparently the guy who had Kagura got murdered. So that's another reason why they're protecting the previous owners of the people who had swords beforehand. We've seen the death of Sojo, his last effort to surpass the main character. We've seen the newbie, the guy that survived, one of the guys who survived the fight against Sojo, snitch about the main character being alive, telling the man he's just snitch. We also finally get to meet the Kanabi. And the Kanabi, if you guys don't remember, is the quote unquote good guys that's fighting against the bad sorcerers. We finally get to meet them, their decision making, the report on who died, who's alive, the person that's sent after the main character to kill him. Not to kill him, I'm sorry, to take the swords back, because the main character had both swords now. But anyways, instead of talking the beginning of the chapter, let's go towards the end of the chapter when we finally meet the Kanabis. So basically, they're just talking about what happened with the situation of the Kagura. They're basically talking about how the whole team died except two people. The two people's the one guy who snitched about the main character. The new guy, he lost his right arm fighting against Sojo. We also see that the leader of the team is alive. He lost both his legs and he's unconscious though. So that's the bad thing about that. They also talk, and this happened 10 days later after the fight against Sojo. So they're still talking about the sword that Sojo was supposed to sell, which that's an issue because since it's still being sold by a different seller, they realized that Sojo is not the main guy behind it. So obviously this got confirmed for them. They always thought that he wasn't the one, but now that he's basically dead, they're completely aware that people are behind him. This is when we learn one of maybe the most important fact in this chapter, and one of the things we learned that could help the good guys win is that something called lifelong contracts. Basically, is if you're a Shanta user and the sword accepted you as the user, basically nobody else can use it. So that brought up an interesting thought while I was first reading this. Like, okay, why does Kagura have a user? And then the very next second they explained that after Kagura got killed, so they killed the owner of the Kagura so Sojo can use the sword. They had the Kanabis basically decided to protect the rest of the people that had the rest of the swords from the war. If you guys remember the Imperial War, where the father of the main character became famous because he made the 6 swords to end the war. Now basically we see 4 characters that obviously probably were the owner of the swords, which is interesting because we have 4 of them shown to us, and technically since Kagura died, that's 5. So that's 2 characters that still we haven't seen with the sword. And I had a theory that Shibai was one of the sword user, and Azumi, if I'm saying his name right, is being the other sword user. But anyways, we also see this guy snitching on Sojo, basically saying Sharokohora, I mess up the name, basically telling snitching that the main character is the son of the dad that nobody know of. They didn't have a record that he had a son, by the way, which is crazy. Though he also snitched that the main character have a 7 Ashanta blade that they don't know about, so that kind of scared the higher ups, and basically everybody started blaming Azumi because they're like, for some reason, they already suspected him of knowing of this already. But there was one guy that looked like a character design, inspiration design off of Son Wukong, basically the Monkey King. Which it would be funny if his ability had something to do with monkeys, because the way they designed him kind of looked like a monkey. I know that sounds racist, but there's a guy protecting Azumi, basically saying that it's because of people like you that he had to fight that the dad had a son. But anyways, they decided to send somebody after the main character, a new character. I don't know. It looks like a female or man. I can't see it if it's a female or man. It looks feminine, so it might be a female. But anyways, this character is named Hayuki. I hope I said that name right. Basically, they say she's the strongest fighter here. So I don't know if she's the strongest fighter in her group or the strongest fighter in the Kunabis. I doubt it, but maybe she is the strongest fighter. But they're sending her after the main character to retrieve the two sword, because the main character had Claw Geyser and his sword right now too. Entei, I think his name is the sword of the main character is Entei. But anyways, before I end up the chapter review, let's talk about the beginning of the chapter. Basically, the death of Sojo. Sojo, my man, is actually dead. We start the chapter off basically with the death of Sojo. Well, near death of Sojo. And basically, we learn of the two risks that both of them had to go through. The main character overusing his body and cloaking himself twice, and basically had him throwing up blood because he basically abused his body, trying to do something that his body shouldn't be able to do. So, due to that, the main character threw up a lot of blood, but due to him taking that risk, he was able to kill Sojo. We also see Shibai coming to help the main character so he doesn't fall all over the place. While he's trying to help the main character, we see Sojo trying to run away, but they don't go after him because his guts is all over the place. He's going to die. But we do see Char trying to heal the main character with her ability, but the main character kind of don't want her to do it. So this is how you know the main character is a nice guy. He doesn't want Char to use her ability on him. Obviously, she still does it. It doesn't succeed, but he's happy of the fact that she tried. He basically tried to compliment her by saying that, yo, because you healed me before the fight, I was able to beat Sojo. And we see Sojo's death. Basically, he tried to get the stone that's able to make enchanted blades. He's trying to put spirit energy into it, but if you guys remember, the reason he's not able to make enchanted blades is because the stone is not stable yet. So when he tried to put energy into it, he basically blew up. But right before blowing up, I guess he remembered this line from the main character. I'm gonna read from this chapter. You will never stand as equal to my father, and for that I will cut you down. And the main character, Sojo basically died saying the main character's name. Is it the main character's name that he's saying, or the dad's name? I don't know, one of them. They have the same name. Anyway, you should see the building that Sojo had blew up, and that's how the Sojo died. This chapter is amazing. We got a person after the main character who look amazing. My man snitching on the main character. I don't mess with you because of that. But anyways, that's the chapter review. Do the YouTube stuff, subscribe and all that stuff. Comment down below. And family, we out. Well, manga family, we out. I have two channels. Sometimes I say Toon Family, but that's for my webtoon review channel. So I mean to say manga family, we out.